Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News at 1. We begin with the latest on the fraud charge filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against former Governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha. An FCT High Court has dismissed the EFCC's criminal charge of fraud against Senator Okorocha, which they allege he committed during his tenure as Governor of Imo State. This will be the third ruling delivered by a court of competent jurisdiction on charges of fraud filed by the EFCC against Senator Okorocha. The Federal High Court Abuja had on the 6th of February discharged Senator Okorocha of 2.9 billion naira fraud charges preferred against him by the EFCC. Justice Inyang in a ruling struck out the charges for contravening Section 105, subsection 3 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which gives the Attorney General of the Federation power to recall a case.
Nigeria is a nation. We must do everything to protect its integrity. I believe that nothing should discourage the EFCC from doing their work. They should do their work. They're doing quite well, but they should try to make sure everything is within the ambit of the law. That's just what we're saying. But I just thank God Almighty that finally, the third time actually, that same court is saying the same thing over and over and over again. So this is not about who is wrong, who has won or who has lost. It's about this nation. Fighting against corruption is something that must be done, and we must continue to do that, support the EFCC to do that, but let it be within the ambit of the law.
Staying with the court, the Presidential Election Petitions Court has reserved judgment in the petition filed by the Allied People's Movement. At the resumed sitting, counsel to the petitioner and the respondent adopted their final written addresses. The Independent National Electoral Commission, alongside the APC and the President, asked the court to dismiss the petition for lacking merit. They argued that the issues canvassed by the petitioner had been settled by a judgment delivered by the Supreme Court. The APM's ground for the petition is that the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, was not qualified to contest, having allegedly engaged in double nomination. Chairman of the panel, Justice Haruna Samani, announced that judgment was reserved and the date will be communicated to parties. He added that the court plans to deliver judgment in the petition by the APM the same day with that of the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party. Away from the courts now, President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency on food security in the country. The president has also directed that all matters pertaining to food and water availability and affordability be included within the purview of the National Security Council. President Tinubu also says his administration will deploy some savings from the petrol subsidy removal into revamping the agricultural sector. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
President Bola Tinubu says his administration is worried about the clear and present danger to food security in the country. The recent policy of fuel subsidy removal has taken a toll on food prices and now threatens food security. President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on food security seeks to reverse the inflationary cost of food items and ensure affordability.
The president has declared with immediate effect the following actions. 1, a state of emergency on food security. 2, that all matters pertaining to food and water availability and affordability as essential livelihood items be included within the purview of the National Security Council.
The annual inflation rate in Nigeria rose for the 4th consecutive month to a near 18-year high of 22.41% in May this year. These new measures introduced by the Tinubu administration is meant to stop the hike in food prices and possibly force a downward trend.
We shall create and support a national commodity exchange board that will review and continuously assess food prices as well as maintain strategic food reserve that will be used as price stabilization mechanism for critical grains and other food items.
It seems this time the federal government may be out to find a lasting and sustainable solution to the farmer herders conflict, which again is a serious threat to food security. President Tinubu's administration says it will adopt ranching as against cattle herding. The president seeks an increased and improved participation of relevant government institutions and stakeholders in the agricultural sector. But he insists the Central Bank of Nigeria will continue to play the lead role in funding the value chain of the agricultural sector that already accounts for 35.21% of employment in Nigeria. This latest government initiative is expected to draw the country closer to achieving Sustainable Development Goal 2, which focuses on ending hunger, achieving food security, improved nutrition, and promoting sustainable agriculture. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.